Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Peter.
And we're the Wine Guys. And today we're here with a very famous director, producer, filmmaker, and writer, Rudy McLean of Merlove.
Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
This is great. You know, I got to see your documentary a couple nights ago, and it's not out yet, correct?
No, not yet. 13th.
And the reason Rudy's on the show is we're going to have a DVD signing here this Saturday at V Sattui Winery, right here in the tasting room, from 11 to 1. Is that right, Claudette? Right. And so you're going to be signing DVDs. And is this really the first time people are going to be able to buy this DVD?
Yeah, this will be the first time anyone's ever going to be able to physically hold a Merlove DVD in their hands. I'm going to be doing pictures, face painting, all that stuff. No, I'll be doing drawings on people's DVDs, my signature, everything else. But we're trying to make it a fun event. But really say, hey, here's a local place people can come and get the DVD.
You know, it is a lot of fun. The movie, I watched it last night, Rudy, and it just smiled. It's a real local film. If you know anything about St. Helena and this valley, and you see winemakers and people in the valley, and of course, great wines.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Rudy, tell us a little bit about Merlove. What was the inspiration in making this documentary?
The inspiration was, I was writing a screenplay and I was stumped, and so I decided, well actually I was at a birthday party of a friend of mine's, and Chris Phelps from Swanson Vineyard said, I heard someone's doing a Merlot movie, but no one was doing it, so I grabbed my camera. He was my first interview, and then I kind of got some huge people in the interview early, and was able to get going on the movie.
Yeah, that's neat. How did you come up with the name Merlove?
I was on my way to Santa Rosa, and I was talking to my honey, fiance Marisol, who you'll see in the movie as well. She's one of the producers. And I was saying, you know, you have to have love for Merlot. You know what I mean? And I was like, Merlove. And then we were on our way to Santa Rosa, so I was like, I hope the domain name and everything is available so I can go back and like do this thing. It was just kind of one of those epiphanies. So.
Well, for people watching this here today, maybe Rudy, just tell us a little bit about the film. And really, I mean, it's certainly about the celebration of Merlot, but to me, it's a little bit more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we stick up for Merlot because the movie Sideways, after it came out, kind of had an effect with Pinot Noir sales going out of the roof and Merlot sales kind of leveling off because Miles says he's not going to drink Merlot. So
is that exactly what he said?
He says, I'm not going to drink any effing bleep bleep bleep
Sorry.
Mark Merlot. So, but then that kind of had an effect because people don't have a huge wine self-esteem and they latch on to those things. So we stick up for Merlot in the movie, go to some of the best wines in the world for Merlot, and then from there we go, look, this is kind of an effect that's happened with wine, but if you go out and you try new wines, try new places, try new varietals, you won't run into this problem, and also you'll have a lifetime enjoyment of wine.
And after all, it was just a movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a movie, you know? And the thing is, the guy, Miles, it wasn't that he didn't like Merlot. The reality of the story was his ex-wife, that was her favorite varietal. So to him, saying, I don't want Merlot is like saying, I don't want my ex-wife, was what was really going on.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Cheval Blanc that he drank in the end. So much of an expert he was. You know?
And then just for the viewers too, Cheval Blanc, one of the most famous wines. In fact, I think it was Tom Rinaldi that said one of the most famous wines I've never drank.
Yeah.
The wine itself is easy to drink. It's good black fruits or red fruits or whatever, but it's just soft, and the name itself, Merlot, is kind of sexy like.
And that's what they say also contributed to some of its early success. The fact that if you didn't know that much about wine and you learned that one thing, that the name Merlot, and you looked at a list and you felt great saying, I'd like to order a bottle of Merlot.
I tell people all the time, if they do blind tastings at home with friends and they put 3 or 4 bottles of Cabernet in a bag and you slip in a bottle of Merlot, everyone's going to pick the Merlot over the Cab because it is softer and easier to drink.
You know, I have a test we're going to do here in a few minutes, but I'm glad you brought that up. And I didn't even mention this to you. There's a Merlot in one of these glasses, and there's a Cabernet.
Nice.
And I want to see if you guys can pick it out. So we're going to try that in a couple minutes.
All right.
Because it's really true that, you know, they're both Bordeaux varieties, and they're blended together.
Well, and don't they have the same parent, Cab Franc?
That's right, and the same.
I mean, their daddy is the same person, Cab Franc. You know, Merlot and Cabernet are cousins. You know, and this is another thing. It's like you look at Europe, and Europe is fragmented, but these are like families, and everything is kind of related. So the fact that you're singling out a varietal and saying it's not good is kind of It's impossible because even if overseas they don't even label it by the Merlot. It's by the Chateau. It's by the
And in France, did you get any sense that did they wonder what you were talking about with Merlot?
It's true.
Yeah.
They don't. And the thing is, they're like sideways. What? I mean, if you look at the beginning of the movie, the guy I talked to about it, he says sideways. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's an American.
I don't
thing.
think I'm giving anything away, but I thought it was really clever, Rudy, how you made the point that in Europe that it's about the terroir, that it is about the wine and where it's from, not about the varietal.
It's all about the sense of place. It's like if they talk about armchair travel, it's like if you can't get to a place, if you can try a wine that is expressive of that terroir of that place, you're going to have a chance to experience a place in a different way. I mean, you may not have visited, but try the wine from a place. If you think that place is expressing a particular varietal well, you go, look, try this, and you get a chance to travel places around the world by trying their varietals.
Good. Well, hey, are you ready for the challenge? Sure. All right, good. So here's the deal. In fact, well, if you mix it up, then I'm not going to be able to tell you which these two are. So anyway, I guess I know, but let's see if you can figure it out. One's a Merlot from V Sattui, and one is one of our Cabernets. And I think I made it hard. Let's see.
Well, the color.
I mean, and then too, people say, okay, well, Merlot sometimes
They're like dark,
they're a little bit lighter in color. They're wimpy wines. I don't think so.
Or Cabernet with training wheels.
Yeah,
what I heard.
Yeah, and but to me, the density, the color of these are identical. Can you tell the difference between the color?
I can tell a little bit of a difference between the color.
The one on the left seems a little darker.
Yeah.
I had a fruit fly in mine earlier, so
But
It is a little protein.
so maybe that helped it out. Try the one right first.
Well, the one on the left is a little more tannic. I think the one on the right's a little softer. That may lead you to believe that.
Yeah, I get definitely the one on the left is a little bit bigger style, a little bit more mouth filling. Both have some really nice red fruits though on the palate.
Both are real good, and they're both Sattui wines.
It's like, yeah. And the wine on the left is a little more bold, a little heavier on the palate. A little more. It's almost like it's a larger expression of this wine, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm going to go the reverse of what I would normally think, as I said, and I'm going to say that this is the Merlot and this is a lighter Cabernet.
That's why I chose it.
All right, good. Well, here, let me get the bottle. 'Cause I had it hidden over
Never
here.
go into the Sicilian and death is on the line.
This is Merlot.
Oh yeah,
It is Merlot.
Oh, that's
I grabbed the wrong bottle, but it's down here.
This is Merlot?
Yeah, that's the Merlot.
Yes, I did. Yes.
So that was our reserve Merlot. And
Yes.
then the other bottle, I forget where I put, but it was, and then the one on the right is our Preston Vineyard Cabernet.
There you go. Wow.
And so it just goes to show you
But I was
that you can have a big Merlot,
Yeah.
and they're delicious wines.
Full of big, luscious fruit, and
Well, I was hoping I could fool you guys today, but
No, we got it.
yeah, you got it right.
Hey.
And but it just goes to show you it's not easy. And I think if we did have a blind tasting here, and we had maybe 10 wines, and half of them were Merlot, half are Cabernet, could you tell the difference? I think no one would get it right, because it's really, really difficult. So definitely, Merlot, good Merlot, doesn't deserve to be bashed.
No.
And just maybe just lastly about the DVD, I hope you come up here and see us this weekend. I hope you buy it. It's a great movie.
That's fun.
I'll be signing them. I'll be doing pictures. If you want happy faces, suns, whatever.
It's a great gift, and it just embraces, I think, the love that we all have for wine. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
We'll look forward to seeing you this weekend. And thanks to Claudette on the camera. We set up Ustream today.
Yeah.
So for the folks that had the patience to watch us.
through it all.
Our friend in Munich said he likes your hats.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Someone's watching us from Munich?
Yeah,
today?
Wine on the Rocks. The guys want check out
Get
Wine
out of here.
Yeah, those guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all
Cheers,
right.
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Hey, and we all pick up the Merlot, right?
He picked up the cat.
Oh, you can't-
That's okay.
Salute.